Guys, every biker dreams of riding on Highway 50 in Nevada, also known as the loneliest road in America. And guys, I think that probably every biker in the US has thought at some point, one day I'll make that ride. But today I want to tell you about something more than the thrill of the open road. There's something out there that people are even more eager to talk about than the road itself, and it's not a person. What I'm about to share is a story that's haunted many travelers, and this isn't something I made up. There are countless articles and blogs detailing the same experiences. It's a mystery that will send chills down your spine. Before we dive into it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more horror, mystery, and history videos. Today's story takes place along Highway 50, specifically near the area called Fallon Pass, Nevada. This is the story of Mike and some of his friends who were planning a long-awaited motorcycle trip through Nevada's scenic but desolate highways. Everything was set. Their families had given them the green light, the gear was packed, and the route was planned. Some of them were debating whether they should fly to Reno and rent bikes there, or ride from their hometowns all the way. Mike's friend Jason suggested flying to Reno and renting bikes for the final leg of the trip. They all agreed, and the plan was locked. Now guys, what you can't even imagine is that this highway, as beautiful as it is, has a darker side. Highway 50 is notorious for strange happenings. It's said that just like the moon has its dark side, the road too has its hidden dangers. As Mike and his friends were gearing up to ride from Reno to Ely, they heard warnings about the area near Fallon Pass. A recent landslide had made the road even more treacherous, but they were so excited that they shrugged it off. The 300-mile stretch was supposed to take them about 9 to 10 hours, but there's a particularly rough 50-mile section of the route that runs through Fallon Pass. The road is bad there, so bad that speeding is almost impossible, and there are numerous warnings about the risk of accidents. Despite the warnings, Mike and his friends thought they were experienced enough to handle it. They were confident they could ride at their own pace without any issues. But little did they know, Fallon Pass has a reputation for things far worse than just bad roads. Now, as they reached Fallon Pass, the weather changed. A light rain started to fall, and the temperature dropped sharply. Mike was feeling the cold more than his friends, who seemed fine and continued riding enthusiastically. Mike, however, was getting tired and thought about stopping to rest for a bit. He told his friends, but they were so eager to keep going that they told him to catch up with them later. A little upset but understanding, Mike decided to stop and take a break by himself. He parked his bike, sat down, and tried to shake off the chill. As he sat there, the sun was starting to set, and suddenly he noticed something strange. Off in the distance, a figure was walking toward him. This was odd because Highway 50 is known for being desolate. There are barely any people out here, especially walking on foot. This person was covered in a thin blanket, which struck Mike as bizarre given the freezing temperature. As the figure got closer, Mike could tell something wasn't right. The person's face was completely covered, and despite the cold, they seemed unfazed. When the person was within earshot, Mike called out, asking, "Hey man, why are you out here in the cold with just a blanket?" The person didn't respond. As the figure came even closer, Mike noticed they were limping and had severe injuries on their body, cuts and bruises visible through the blanket. Mike felt uneasy but tried to offer some help. "You need to get warm, man. You shouldn't be out here like this." "Let me help you," Mike said, but again, the person didn't respond. Instead, the figure slowly extended their hand, as if asking for something. Mike thought maybe the person was homeless or in need of money, so he pulled out some cash and handed it over. But then something horrifying happened. As the person took the money, their eyes, dark and empty, locked onto Mike's. There was nothing there, no pupils, no whites, just pure darkness. The blanket slipped off, revealing that the person had no body, just a hollow figure standing before him. Terrified, Mike jumped on his bike and sped off as fast as he could. He couldn't believe what he had just seen. As he rode further, trying to collect his thoughts, he came across a truck parked on the side of the road. And there, standing next to the truck driver, was the same figure. The truck driver was casually offering the figure water, as if nothing was wrong. Mike couldn't believe it. He sped off again, glancing back in his rearview mirror, but the figure was gone. Panicked, Mike saw a small diner up ahead. He pulled in, parked his bike, and rushed inside. The people at the diner could tell something was wrong just by looking at him. Shaking, he told them the entire story. One of the older men sitting in the diner called him over and told him, "Son, what you saw wasn't a living person. It was a ghost. Many years ago, there was a terrible accident in Fallon Pass. A truck got stranded in a snowstorm, and the driver left to find help, leaving his helper behind. When the driver finally made it back, his helper had died from the cold and dehydration. Since then, the ghost of that helper wanders Fallon Pass, asking travelers for water. Those who ignore the spirit often meet with misfortune soon after." Hearing this, Mike's blood ran cold. He realized he hadn't given the spirit any water, only money. Terrified that something bad might happen to him, he quickly got back on his bike, rode to a small shrine dedicated to the helper near the pass, and left a water bottle as an offering. He apologized profusely, hoping that the spirit would forgive him. Then he left as quickly as he could. At the end of this video, I want to remind everyone not all spirits are evil, but some need something from you. They may not ask for it directly, but if you understand the history of the place you're visiting, you might know what they want. So always be cautious and respect the stories of the places you travel to, or you may find yourself haunted by something you didn't even realize was there. Thank you.